The Main Street Nashville Twitter is not connecting. Strange.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh well. Whatever. Who the fuck cares? Who cares? So what are we saying about this lie? Let's see. Trevecca press conference.
I've got a tweet.
Did you put it? Is it on the?
I'm about to tweet it right now.
Okay.
Just saying, we're starting today's show with live coverage from TNU Sports announcing their women's basketball coach. We've also got TSSAA's Bernard Childress, Braves, SEC Hoops Talk, and prep coaches on the move.
Trevecca.
Yeah.
Live coverage of Trevecca press conference announcing new women's basketball coach.
Yep.
Is that right? And that's with apostrophe, correct? Is that what we do?
Women's?
Yep.
Technically it's women's with the S apostrophe.
S apostrophe.
I would think.
Women's.
I just put WBB.
Gotcha. New WBB coach.
Just easier that way.
Plus Bernard Childress, team player of the week, and more. How's that? That'll suffice, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, banner. Boom.
Hey, they're hearing us. This is sensational. It's phenomenal. I love it. It's hilarious.
Y'all are gonna have to do something on air keys. See the email report. And she put me on somebody else. Police, I guess. So she didn't know she thought that she might. but it's not sports. It's not. And it's not NBA. Did you get Bill?
The following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Welcome into this Thursday edition of Main Street Sports. Today on the program, we'll go live in moments to Trevecca as they are announcing their new women's basketball coach. Plus, Bernard Childress, TSSAA, will be joining us around 3 o'clock this afternoon to talk about his final days and weeks as executive director. Also, we will be doing our daily Braves report, and the SEC making a change to their basketball championship game to Saturday. What does that mean? We'll tell you all about it. But first, we go live now to our boys in Muletown. That is the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao. Happy Thursday, gentlemen.
Hey, what's up? Wasn't expecting to get on here.
No Trevecca live as of yet, so
Still waiting.
We're waiting for them to go live.
Not a problem. I just wasn't expecting it. So they are set to announce Karen Booker as the women's basketball coach. It was embargoed till 1. It's past 1.
It's past 1.
So they'll announce former Vanderbilt star WNBA player.
Former Franklin Lady Rebel.
Oh, look at there.
Karen Booker.
Look at there.
Look at there. Yeah. So.
And if you can't look at there, listen there. Yeah. So
actually, Karen graduated a year after I did from Franklin. We go. I go way back with her family.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
And I'm excited for Trevecca. I think this is going to be great. So looking forward.
Apparently, she's being introduced by her younger brother Barry, former BGA and Vanderbilt standout. So a lot of
the Vanderbilt blood will be running thick purple.
No doubt. Absolutely.
So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say and their press conference. So as soon as that gets going, we will take you live to the Hill where they will be announcing that. So I guess there's a lot of the hills.
Well, I guess the Hill depends on where you're at.
I guess so. But that's what they call it. So we'll give them that. And I'm sure I don't know when I signed up for Trevecca's athletics newsletter, but it was probably at the hands of intern 2, if I had to guess.
You may have been signed up.
I might have got signed up.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm glad we did. Yeah, I'm excited because that's what this show is about. We are about bringing a voice to those who don't necessarily get a voice very often in the Nashville media market, and our niche audiences tend to enjoy that. So we're glad to bring it to you. And as soon as they get going, we will get it to you. That is our top story today. And I have the rundown set to go in the next segment. But I'm almost afraid to try to get it in, so we just kind of go with it.
Yeah, I mean, do we start it and then
No, I don't
they
think so.
start?
I think we just kind of play it and go as far as we can. But again, Karen Booker is set to be introduced. She's a former WNBA player and assistant coach.
Yeah, she's got a heck of a pedigree. She's also a former official.
Oh, that's cool.
In fact, as I was telling you off air yesterday, the last time I saw Karen was actually at the Web. She was calling a Columbia State women's game over there. So, I mean, she's got quite the background. Like you said, she played in the WNBA. She coached in the WNBA. She's officiated.
She was most recently at UIC.
So she's been coaching for a while then, huh?
Yeah, she was an assistant coach for UIC at some point, University of Illinois, Chicago, for those of you who don't know what UIC, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know what UIC is.
There would be a good bunch that would not know.
Matt's not on. He would know.
Matt Brown would know.
If Matt Brown were here, he would know, but that's about it. But she ranks 10th all time in points per game at Vanderbilt, second in steals with 293 and rebounds with almost 1,100.
Second in steals and rebounds.
That's impressive.
That's solid for a post player.
No question there.
Yeah.
Ranks 8th in field goal attempts, but does not rank among field goal percentage leaders. So that's okay. It's always about the next one, baby.
That's all that matters. The only shot that matters is the next shot. Yeah.
How about this? 9th in blocked shots with 127 in her career. That's rebounds, steals, and blocked shots. That's something right there.
And 10th in scoring average. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
third team All-American.
She was a high volume shooter.
There you go. Won a gold medal in the World University Games representing the United States. So this is a big hire.
It really is. I mean, for a Division II program like a Trevecca to be able to bring in somebody with the background that she brings, that's pretty impressive. And I think that's going to play pretty well in a lot of folks' living rooms.
Yeah, there's no question. She'll replace Chad Hibden, who resigned in March after 6 seasons, and
is now the girls basketball coach down at Tullahoma.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's
good situation all around.
It is. They were 5-22 last year, 4-17 in the Great Midwest Conference. So should be an uphill battle, but I'm sure they'll give her plenty of time to get it worked out, and looking forward to it. JP, still no live stream, huh?
Still no live stream. We do have audio. There are people mingling, so we
I wonder if
feels like we are mere moments away.
No, I feel like intern 2 is in charge of this thing, and
I hope not.
No, he could do it. He got us on the air sometimes. I'm kidding. Lawson, we're just messing with you.
Maybe we ought to reach out to intern 2.
Hey, Lawson, are y'all going to go live anytime soon?
What's up?
What's the deal here?
What time is this 2:00 press conference?
Hey, JP, I had this new idea for halftime, and I'm going to throw this at you. Give me a random county in the state of Tennessee.
A random
and something county. Not around here, like something just out of nowhere.
Okay, Fentress.
All right,
here we go. We have live video, by the way. So let's go. Let's get this going and go to Trevecca, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, stand by.
Bit of gratitude, right? CM used to say to us, character is something that's hard to define, but you know it when you see it. Or sometimes he would say it like this, you know it when you're in its presence. And this is Karen Booker. In his book, The Road to Character, author David Brooks says it like this, and I quote, about once a month, I run across a person who radiates inner light. They seem deeply good. They listen well. They make you feel funny and valued. You often catch them looking after other people, and as they do so, their laugh is musical, their manner is infused with gratitude. And when you meet such a person, it brightens your whole day. Again, this is Karen Booker. Somebody's trying to call in. I hope that's not mine. All right. During this hiring process, I've read some articles of the difference between resume virtues and eulogy virtues, right? Resume virtues are the skills that you bring into the marketplace. And believe me, I saw a lot of resume virtues over this process. I had over 150 resumes that I had to go through in order to get to this point. However, the eulogy virtues are the ones that are talked about at your funeral, whether you're kind and brave and honest and faithful. We all know that eulogy virtues are more important than the resume ones, but our culture and our educational systems tend to spend more time teaching skills and strategies that give you the qualities for a career advancement, rather than the qualities you need to radiate that inner light, as David Brooks said. This is why at Trevecca Athletics we feel we can uniquely run our athletic department and prioritize Christian scholar athlete as our philosophy and as our main desire. And if we believe it, then we have to hire to it, we have to recruit to it, and we have to live by it. And so we're here today to introduce a significant piece of building of the Christian scholar athlete philosophy. I want to thank the members of our committee who helped this process: Emily Moore, Desmond Pierce, Dr. Terry Schofield, Jessica Dykes, and Kristen Archie Blankenship. Thanks to the members of the press that are here. Mike, you covered us a lot, Mike. Where are you, Mike? Here, thank you. Elite Orthopedics, Chad, thank you for being here with us. Alumni and fans, you've been here a lot, and we appreciate your continued support. Coaching staff, thank you, coaches, for being here. Players, thought we were going to have a couple. We'll be here tomorrow, right? They are the most important constituent that we have. Without further ado, Barry Booker, would you come up here, please, and introduce your sister? Let's give him a hand. Barry Booker.
Well, they told me at the last minute that I would have the honor of doing the introduction. I would have dressed better otherwise. But I was sitting here trying to think of stories that I could tell to illustrate. Yeah, I was thinking about the time the house got set on fire, but no, I would not want to bring that story up. I was thinking about the time that the basketball goal fell on someone's head and somebody got bloodied, but I wouldn't want to tell that story either. And I was thinking about the time on a trip to D.C. or a trip from Baltimore would be more appropriate, when a van rolled over on the interstate. But I wouldn't want to tell that story either. And the funny thing is that none of those stories involve Karen. It's other members of the family. I couldn't think of any horrible stories that would embarrass Karen, which is to her benefit there. But I can think of this one story, though, that would demonstrate her character and what she has meant in my life. It was this time when a 12-year-old kid was on the ground being pummeled by another 12-year-old kid. And my sister came and dragged that kid off of me, and I'm really grateful for that one. She's been my hero, one of 11. We are the end of a long line. Claudia, Charlotte, Janet, Gwen, Cyrus, Linda, Brenda, Robert, Joe, Sherry, and then the two Vanderbilt kids, Karen and Barry, party of 12. And I followed her to Vanderbilt and was glad to do that, and glad that Coach Newton got mentioned here today, and glad to be here with one of the best coaches I ever had, Coach Elliott, who's made a great decision, I believe. When I heard Karen was being considered for this role, I just thought, that's perfect. This is Karen Booker. She is the personification of Christian character. No pressure. She's an outstanding basketball mind, and I think this position, I think she was made for this role. And I'm really excited to see what is to come for the Trevecca community because of Karen's abilities and her skills, and most of all for her Christian character. So please help me welcome the head basketball coach at Trevecca University, Karen Booker.
Well, I could not be more excited. I'm still trying to get used to my title. And, I'm just honored. I am humbled. And I'm ready to, get things going here. And Barry spoke for a bit and Mark spoke for a bit. So, I don't have that much to say, but but I am 11th to 12. For those who don't know, we grew up in Franklin, Tennessee, and our parents were our heroes, and they demonstrated integrity, faith. They really pushed education. If you did not make those grades, you were not playing your sport. And I had to learn that one time from that. I was not the greatest with my math, but at any rate, they were awesome parents and great role models. And so they just helped lead and guide all of us. And I'm thankful for every experience I've had in my life. God has blessed me so much. There have been a ton of basketball experiences. There have been a lot of faith experiences, such as my time with FCA. There have been playing professional, playing overseas. And heck, I even put on a striped shirt and I refereed for over 10 seasons. So it's been great. I got in the car this morning and the song that was playing was I've Had the Time of My Life. And that's my love for the game, my love for basketball. It's just been a lot of wonderful experiences. Barry, come on, let's go. Okay, we will not do that. Coach Van Adda really set the standard here. He surprised me with a call last night. He said he wished he could be here. So I know Trevecca more from those days when they were vying for the NAI National Championship, when they won the GMAC or near the top of the GMAC in his first year. And then I moved away. So I've been away from Nashville for these last 4 or 5 years. And so I only know Trevecca as a winning program with a winning tradition. And so that's what I want to help this team get back to. I have spoken with all of the players. I've met 6 or 7 in person. And so, Coach Elliott's like, all right, no pressure, build it, really focus on Christian. And I talk to these players and I let them know we're going to build it, we're going to focus on Christian. And I'm like, well, yo, what are y'all excited about? And they say, we want to win. And so, Mark, so, yes, with a capital A. So, but anyway, so the team is excited. I'm excited. I just can't express my love for the game of basketball. I was telling Greg, our SID person, that, Barry and I would argue over what we're going to watch on TV when we were young, when I was about 5 or 6. And he was saying, well, you're kind of giving your age away by doing that. Because you used to have to actually get up and change the channel back then. And so, I was watching basketball, NBA, Dr. J, and trying to emulate some of those players. The Old Dominion Tennessee rivalry every year for the women's championship. So I've been watching basketball since I was very little. And one of my favorite parts of any game is the last 2 minutes. Now, my mom would be waiting for me some nights, and I would say, Mom, it only has 2 minutes. I'm watching this NBA game. I'll be right there. And my mom quickly learned that's going to take another 30 minutes for them to play the last two. But what I love about those type games are all of the strategy. And so in terms of my coaching, I want to bring a lot of strategy. I've learned from a lot of different coaches, a lot of different styles. I've taken little bits and pieces from everybody to kind of create my philosophy. So, you know, I'm excited to be here, excited to get started. And a lot of what I'm about and with the team is, you know, passion for the game, preparation, being prepared, teamwork, and then always depending on your faith. And also who you are. Coach Noon's wife, Evelyn, one of my favorite people ever, would always say who you are is not what you do. And so I want these players to gather. They're not just basketball players. They are young women in Christ, and they have so much to offer. And so I want to teach and kind of mentor them. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Here's what I'd like to do for just a minute, if you don't mind. Let's let Karen stay up here, and let's let the crowd ask her some questions, right? So you'd be thinking about a question that you want, and you know brothers are going to ask questions, right? You know they're going to. But Mike, if you'd like to ask a question, Greg, if you could pose a question so that it would just jump start.
All right, guys. So there you go. That is Karen Booker live at Trevecca, and good hire, guys.
Yeah, I don't think I think they absolutely hit a home run with this. I don't think you could have asked for a better hire coming out of this situation. So well done, Trevecca. Well done to that university. They got a good one, and I'm excited to see what she has in store.
I'm just excited just from the standpoint that I've often said in high school sports that your administration is almost as important, well, maybe more important than your talent base. And I think with Karen having the opportunity to work for Mark Elliott really is going to help. Top-notch guy. And like you said, just excited to see where this thing goes with her at the helm of their women's basketball program, working for him. Recruiting to this town
Shouldn't be difficult.
should not be difficult. Recruiting in this town, I mean, she probably shouldn't have to drive much more than 2 or 3 hours in any direction to get some really, really good women's basketball players into that Lady Trojans program. So looking
Yeah, I
forward
mean,
to
we
it.
see it with their softball program. I mean, the folks around Middle Tennessee are flocking to Trevecca. They want to be there. It's a great place to go to school. It is being in the NAIA gives them.
They're D2.
Oh, they are D2. That's right.
Mhm.
Being D2 at that level, that's a high level.
It is.
You want to be, if you want to play NCAA basketball, D1 is not the only way to go. And D2 is a very, very high level of college basketball.
And if you're a high school kid, if they're paying for you to go to school, don't get caught up in
Don't worry about that.
in the number of ones behind that. But no, I mean, again, Karen Booker is going to resonate in living rooms across Middle Tennessee and beyond. Just listen to her brother, the second youngest of 12. I think I know every one of them. Great family. And, that's just what she brings to that program. Everything that Mark Elliott and everything that her brother Barry said. And, she's going to take care of kids. She's going to be kids first. Obviously, again, got a wealth of basketball knowledge from a number of different angles. And all of that's going to play into her coaching style, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, we'll have the rundown, and we will talk a little bit about some SEC hoops because there were some questions that arose at the spring meetings. So we'll talk about that when we come back. So stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, here with you from Columbia. Glad to have you guys with us as we continue on this Thursday edition. Looking forward to the rest of this show as Bernard Childress will join us, and looking forward to it. It's going to be there's going to be quite a lot of preps flavor in this Preps to Pros show, but in this particular segment, Mo, I know the Southeastern Conference men's basketball tournament is coming back to Nashville, and I think it's until 2032. I'm not entirely sure.
It comes back until 2032.
Yes.
So it comes back next year.
Yeah, I think they had a 10-year contract, maybe, except for this year when they were in Tampa.
Sure, that was fun.
Which makes no sense, but we've had that discussion.
We have
enough times to figure it out. But either way, it's until the next decade. They're going to be here in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Some discussion was had at the SEC spring meetings, coaches meetings, about moving the championship game to Saturday. Now, as we saw last year, the championship game doesn't matter. Is it, or does it not matter because it's a conference championship of a conference who's already got their teams in and are pretty well seated as they are? Or does it not matter because it's on Sunday?
I don't know. I mean, the fact that it doesn't matter, though, is, for whatever reason, I think it's a concern. You know, particularly if you are, say, an Arkansas or an A&M or somebody like that from this past season. The fact that it doesn't matter is a pretty big deal. And so I think that's why you're seeing this self-reflection of, you know, what can we do to get ourselves out of that it doesn't matter spot. And so maybe by playing it on Saturday night, maybe you give the selection committee
A little
a
extra
little
time.
extra time to consider what you've done. I mean, the fact that it doesn't matter, I don't think speaks to the conferences that are playing their championship games on Sunday. I think it speaks to the selection committee.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's incorrect. My thought process is because the SEC is the SEC, your seeds are almost already determined before the tournament even starts. So, as evidenced by this past year, I mean, Tennessee absolutely should have been a 1 seed, ended up being a 2 seed, and Texas A&M didn't even get in, despite making the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it sounds like the tournament as a whole doesn't matter, much less the championship game. So, why does it matter when you play it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue with any of that. I just, like I said, it's not the SEC's fault that it is this way, but the SEC has to figure out how to address. It's kind of like a strike zone. Okay,
You have to adjust.
yeah. You got to adjust.
You're not in
because
charge.
You can't make the umpires call it as the rules state. So, I mean, it's the same thing here. That you got to work within the framework of what the selection committee has shown you is what they're doing over a long period of time.
Yeah. Would you like it better if it was on Saturday rather than Sunday? I mean, do you kind of?
I'm kind of old school, and I'm not real big on change in a lot of instances. I mean, obviously, if it's on Saturday night, I'm gonna watch it, but I just kind of feel like that. I feel like those championship games are part of the build up to the announcement.
Absolutely. That's the thing is I think that college basketball, which they don't need to own anything more, but they own that Sunday. I mean,
absolutely.
there's nothing else going on. They own that Sunday. It's basketball from, whatever time in the morning, sometimes, 11 o'clock till, when the selection committee is, or when the selection show is finished at 7 o'clock.
And then all of the analysis of the brackets afterwards. Yeah.
So, I mean, you own that. And the SEC being one of the only Power 5 conferences, I think the Big 10 is the other Power 5 that plays on Sunday.
When is the Big 12 playing?
I think they play Saturday.
Really? Okay.
I think most everybody else plays Saturday. I know the A10 plays on Sunday. I think the American plays on Sunday.
I don't remember.
But
That's correct. American did play on Sunday, yes.
I think there are like 5 that play on Sunday, and the SEC and the Big 10 are the 2 Power 5 conferences who play theirs on Sunday. I know the Big 10 does because Michigan was in it this year, and it was it was a big deal. But yeah, so I mean, you kind of have the floor to yourself because those 2 games aren't being played at the same time typically.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I think, and here's the other thing that nobody's talking about. What's the contract with Bridgestone say? They may not have a choice. Bridgestone may be like, no, we can't really change the schedule, buddy.
Well,
we kind of have this thing for 10 years.
Well, the bracket's going to change, you would think, again, with Texas and Oklahoma coming in.
Unless they just don't bring in new extra teams, unless they.
Well, they already have the two games on what, Tuesday? Those 2 play-in games?
This wouldn't add another day. It would just add another session at the start of that day. Yeah, it would just add a day session to that first day. So you'd have 2 sessions instead of 1.
Because you'd end up having what?
4 games.
4 games that day?
Or 3. I guess 3. If you're adding 2 more teams, you just have 3 games.
No, you'd have to have 4 for it to work.
Yeah. Yeah. There's got to be 4 games. I don't know how it doesn't add a day. I mean,
with a double elim, I guess that would be.
No, it's not double elim.
It is single. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, my guess is they're going to do 2 18 brackets, right? And then you get a champion. And they may do So
I don't know. One, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know that I've heard a plan for.
is that
You
what
know,
you would do?
post.
2 18 brackets?
I think you almost have to. Well, I mean, it's going to be 2 18 brackets either way, whether it's
Sure.
1 16 bracket and everybody feeding in, but there's a lot there. But my biggest thing is I don't know how it's not another day added. If you're going from Tuesday to Sunday to X to Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you would just change the days. I don't know that you would add. You would just go to Monday.
Yeah. Well,
And maybe that's not necessarily a possibility because, again, Bridgestone is booked out probably over some time.
yeah. I would think that they would have it blocked off for a
I'm
period
sure
of
they have,
time
yeah.
just for preparation and that kind of thing. But it's
But you still have, then you're adding it. You're going back a day for preparation. And maybe that Saturday is, Taylor Swift or something.
or the Preds.
Or Predators. You never know. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it. So, if it were me, I think I'd keep it on Sunday. I mean, if I were Greg Sankey, I would just, kind of go the way that you've been going. It's fine. And again, I don't think it matters.
And yeah, I mean, other than the odd Texas A&M situation, I'm not sure how often. Wait a minute. Those first round games are on Wednesday. I'm looking at this past year's bracket.
Gotcha.
Started with those 2 play-in games on Wednesday, Thursday, second
So
round.
that's what JP was saying. You would just
Yeah.
add play-in games.
Yeah. So
And so 15, 16, 13, 14, or 13,
something,
16.
yeah, something along those lines.
would play in.
Yeah.
And then you would have 4 teams that get the bye, the double bye.
Mm-hmm. To the quarters.
Right. So anyway, nonetheless, I just don't think it matters. I like Sunday. I say keep it there, but I don't get a vote.
No,
I said I don't get a vote.
no.
No, I don't get a vote.
I'm a little shocked.
I should get a vote.
Huh?
I really think I should.
Um,
I mean, if anyone,
I don't think. Yeah, I find it hard to believe that no one in Birmingham is saying, "What does Chris Yao think about this?"
well, it's probably because I had that incident on 16th that one time. So probably when I went to the USFL opening week, I may have made a little
A nuisance of
adjustment
Oh.
to the front door of the SEC office.
yourself? Oh Lord.
I'm kidding, but they don't ask me,
Mm.
despite much to their peril.
Their detriment.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a quick break. We've got I've got an idea for halftime, and I've got a couple other things that I want to talk about. But this is a if we don't have a halftime subject, here is what we can do.
Yeah.
So come back with us. We're gonna try new things on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. So stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990
or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome in. It is halftime here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. If you missed the early part, I wasn't ready for that change, but we got it. Then you missed Karen Booker being announced as the Trevecca women's basketball coach, and that is available. Will be available on our first half podcast. It'll be available on Facebook, Twitter, MainStreetSportsToday.com, all of those things. So, JP, before we get into halftime, I need to ask you to do something.
All right, fire away.
I need you to tell me what happened yesterday and what's going to be on television tonight, because we completely forgot today's rundown. So,
gotcha.
So I'm gonna need it. Yeah. So we'll send it to JP here in just a minute, and he'll give us the schedule for tonight and, of course, yesterday's results.
Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Hit it, Maestro.
All righty, so Wednesday results. That would be yesterday, folks. We got Major League Baseball, the Braves shutting out the Diamondbacks 6-0. Yes. Take a step off that ledge, fellas. Cardinals 5-2 over the Padres. Cubs 4-3 over the Brewers. In minor league baseball, the Sounds took one on the chin last night in Durham, as must have hit it off the bull and got a free steak. 17-4 the final there. Yeah.
17 runs. Somebody hit the ball.
Yeah. Anything that travels that fast ought to have a stewardess on it. All right. Or as they say today, a flight attendant, I guess. NHL last night in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, it was the New York Rangers defeating the Lightning 6-2. The Rangers lead that one 1-0. Schedule for today, Braves are in action this evening, 7:40. Your first pitch, they are out in Denver, taking on Colorado. Anderson for the Braves, and Gomber. Is that right? Gomber?
No idea.
We'll go with Gomber for the Rockies. Sounds maintain their series in Durham against the Bulls, 5:35 first pitch there. On the air today, 1:30 in the Women's College World Series. Oklahoma, they threw out the first pitch against Northwestern at 1:30 today. Later on, Florida at 6, taking on Oregon State, Arizona, and Oklahoma State at 8:30 this evening.
Probably
NBA.
need to mention,
Yes,
Probably
go
need
ahead.
to mention the winner of that first game. Texas defeated UCLA 7-2 in
All
the
right.
opener. So,
Okay,
They
there
did,
you
in
go.
fact.
Underway from OKC.
Yep.
NBA, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It is the Golden State Warriors hosting the Boston Celtics. It'll be 8 p.m. Central on ABC. NHL tonight, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. The Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche, 7 p.m. TNT. That seems odd, right? TNT having hockey, and I wish they would flip that and let TNT do the NBA Finals.
It is weird.
I think they would be better. ABC's not bad, but that's just my personal preference. WNBA.
No, that's not accurate. Just don't even say that.
Okay, don't even say that.
That's it.
And that is your rundown. There you go. We will tab that out. There you go.
There we go. That's my bad. Such
you're
is
good.
life.
You called it before I said it.
I did, in fact. It's 0-0 in the looks like the top half of the second inning, Northwestern and Oklahoma. So
Oklahoma didn't score?
they did not score in the first.
Who'd have thought?
Not I. JP, you said Fentress County, right?
I did say Fentress. That's what came to mind.
Do you know the county seat of Fentress County?
Seat of Fentress.
Correct.
I do.
No, it's slipping my mind. I used to could do this.
There was a ferry there once. No.
Okay.
I don't know
No,
about
I'm
a
just kidding.
ferry. Do you want to know?
I would love to know.
Livingston.
Okay.
That is
north of
not what I have.
right?
For Fentress?
That is not what I have. I have Jamestown. Jamestown
is the county seat of Fentress County.
Fentress?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Jamestown is a city in and the county seat of, Fentress County, Tennessee.
Okay.
The population was.
It's on the Kentucky border, correct?
Yeah, it's
Northern Plateau.
yes, it's north of Cookeville. Yes, I was wrong. They're right.
Look, man, it's just Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anybody can change Wikipedia.
No, that's
So you could have been right. I was just saying, I don't know.
I'm not right. Wikipedia is right. Livingston is the county seat of Overton County.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But there is a Livingston Academy in
Exactly.
Fentress, right?
No,
Are they in Fentress?
No,
They're
they're in.
close.
No. York Institute
York
is in
Institute.
Fentress.
That's right.
So where's Livingston Academy?
In Livingston,
Which
which
is
is
surprisingly.
in Overton.
okay.
Go figure, huh?
We're getting our Tennessee geography. Well, that's part of why I wanted to do this.
Yes.
No, Jamestown, the county seat of Fentress, a population in the 2010 census of 1,959 people.
Okay.
I'm going to read you a review
Of
the
Jamestown?
town of Jamestown from niche.com.
From where?
Niche.com.
Okay.
This is a 2-star review. All right. I've lived here all my life. It's a beautiful place to live, but there are a lot of downsides. A good third of the people in this town deal some sort of drug because the jobs here don't pay well. The National Park Service is slowly buying up all of the land and turning this place into a giant horse riding and camping site. That sounds terrible. 2 stars. A large portion of my family's history has been erased because of this, and it's just getting worse. If you're no apostrophe re looking for a place to settle down in your 60s, this is the place. But that's all it's good for.
So in 2 years, I'm going to move to Jamestown.
So
Apparently, it's a place for you. You can ride horses and camp.
Neither
lot
of
of
which I've ever done.
yeah. It doesn't sound like up Mo's alley
No,
there.
not at all.
Yeah.
I've been on a horse one time.
How long were you on it?
Not long. I think we might have ridden around the little circle thing like once. That's it.
Did you get off on your own accord or the horse's accord?
That's
No,
my question.
mine. I was like 10.
That's good.
So, like, I mean,
You're ahead of the game then.
I was
Yeah.
very young,
Yeah,
and
well done.
I'm still kind of afraid of horses. I'm afraid of any animal that is bigger than me. So,
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
yes, it does.
you know,
I mean, I don't want to be anywhere near an animal
That's-
that could crush me. That's
that's kind of human
that is
nature. Yeah.
that is my rational fear. It's not
Yeah.
irrational. It's perfectly rational.
Not at all, really.
People,
Seems pretty common sense to me. I'm just saying.
It makes perfectly good sense to me. I got no problem with that. Yeah. Anything whether it's 4 legs or 2, anything bigger than me, I'm a little
good.
wary of. Yep.
you stay on your side, I'll stay on mine, and we'll be good. Oh man! All right, we're gonna take a quick break, but I have to tell you that the University of Miami is selling vanilla milkshakes at their baseball game tomorrow night. Except that inside the vanilla milkshake, you will also be able to get a buffalo wing, ranch, and hot sauce, along with celery and carrots inside the vanilla milkshake. First of all, that seems like it's counterproductive because the dairy is going to counteract the heat, and ranch and vanilla milkshake just does not sound good to me.
Just because they're both white doesn't mean that they need to
They
go
go together. No, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, I mean, come on now. What are we doing here? The
Wow.
pizza burger thing that the Braves do is weird enough, but this is off the charts, just ridiculous. What are you doing, Miami?
Can we go break?
Mo's like, I can't even eat no more. I'm not even hungry. I was hungry when I got here. No, I'm not. Let's take a break. We'll talk about the Braves. We'll get to Bernard Childress, and we'll hand out some hardware in the second half. And we'll talk about some coaching changes around the area. A lot of high school stuff in the second half. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint, comes back after this.
The city famous for its music is quiet now, but it's about to be overwhelmed by the symphony of speed. Nashville Superspeedway will be rocking from the pit to the grandstand. June 24th through 26th, the Ally 400 NASCAR Cup Series race weekend brings a mix of incredible racing and live entertainment. Tickets are going fast, so visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com today and join the full throttle fun.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSSAA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Time for the second half on this Thursday, June 2nd edition of Main Street Sports Today. Coming up, we'll talk with Bernard Childress, TSSAA Executive Director, on his final days and weeks in that position as he is retiring. Also, this day in Braves history, our team and player of the week and some coaching changes around the area. All that straight ahead. Second half action is underway. Back to the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
And apparently your dog.
We've got another guest somewhere. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't forget about me.
It's fantastic.
Goodness. All right. I got something to say.
Did you see, I know this is not what we're talking about, but did you see this Chevron gas station in Los Angeles that like their gas was like $8.05 a gallon, but their regular gas was $8.05, their plus was $8.07, their premium was $8.09, and apparently Fox 11 did a story about it, and so because apparently they were much higher than everybody else. So they dropped it 20 cents, but their premium is only 4 cents higher a gallon than their regular. I'm very confused by this.
Maybe they just felt like the regular was high enough as it was.
I mean,
it's got to be marked up. I mean,
sure, but normally like premium is like 80 cents higher or more. Sometimes $1.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and we probably don't need to get into gas prices.
Well,
for a number of reasons.
Thank goodness that we, during the summer, as we don't have to do as much traveling. We do go to some places like 7-on-7s and that sort of thing, but we don't have to. We don't have to get out as much as we do during the season. So maybe we can save
some of this.
Save a little cash.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
a little bit.
Anyway,
we do need to make a run over to Chapel Hill, though.
We do need to make a run to Chapel Hill. We'll talk about them later. So Atlanta continues their streak of not losing 3 games in a row. So I guess that's good.
Sometimes you take your positives where they come.
And getting a win over Bumgarner is always a positive.
This Bumgarner,
although he's not as
yeah.
but it's still. I mean, it's still Madison Bumgarner. I mean, you know, that's like getting a win over Charlie Morton. It may not be
vintage,
but it's still a solid veteran.
Yeah.
And after losing 2 games to guys that you probably shouldn't have lost to, you kind of feel like getting the win here is really something to
take them where you can get them, man. But the thing is, the way they went about it yesterday, I mean, one, I didn't get to watch, which really makes me question whether or not I'm going to watch tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I got to take one for the team.
It may be us. I mean,
but
it could be us.
You know, as you texted me yesterday, Kyle Wright, colon stopper. He threw another good one.
You know, I think he right now gets the lowest run support average of any starter
in the National League.
Maybe in the National League, certainly for the Braves.
Oh yeah, no question.
It's like 1.8 runs per game.
Yeah, it's obscenely low.
He got a solid. He got some good offense yesterday, and he pitched like he was only going to get 1.8 run support.
There you go. And again, the young guys, Contreras.
Man,
we talked, I think, during the show yesterday, because they were on during the show yesterday, about Michael Harris hitting a double that would have been a home run in 18 of the 30 major league parks. So, you know, he drove one pretty good to almost dead center at Chase Field. But to see Contreras continuing his good work at the plate, and you know, just to see Harris have good at bats for a guy who has only played 40-something games above the single A level is encouraging, I think.
You know, it's interesting because you've got guys like Contreras and Orlando Arcia. Orlando Arcia still leads the team in batting average, by the way, at 318.
And hasn't played in about a week again.
Right. And
he's that in case of emergency break glass kind of
clearly. But you know, Contreras is a catcher. It's hard to take Travis d'Arnaud off the field because of 1, his ability to call a game, 2, his leadership, and 3, he's not bad at the plate either.
No, exactly.
So it's hard to take him out.
I mean, it's not an obvious, well, Contreras has to catch, because no, he doesn't. But you got to figure somewhere to get his bat in the lineup. But you can't DH him because you got to get Ozuna in, and I'd rather have Ozuna at DH than Contreras.
And so on top of all of that, it's the players, the bench players who are hitting well are unfortunately not position players of the folks who are not. That's, you know, that's the real issue here. Is like, you know, you can't take Austin Riley out. He had a 439-foot jack yesterday.
Right.
Apparently, he made a minor posture adjustment and is hitting the cover off the baseball right now. Hit 2 home runs in the series. You can't take d'Arnaud out, as we said. It's like, how do we get the guys who are hitting really well right now into the lineup as well? Because you got to have other parts, and it's just like a series of unfortunate events. It's like Lemony Snicket's is the manager, not Snicker.
And lost in all of that from yesterday, the Braves won a game that Ronald Acuna did not play in.
Did not play. Yeah. And probably for the best. I mean, anytime that we can keep him off turf, I'm for it.
Well, I mean, a couple of days ago, Snit said, you know, he's either going to be off Tuesday or Wednesday, and Braves Twitter went
berserk.
Yeah, I mean, it was immolation pretty much. I mean, how much are we going to baby this guy? Yeah, well, he's less than a year removed from knee surgery. He's a generational player. We're going to take our time with him. I mean, at the risk of coming off like a Snitker apologist, I mean, I think they're handling this situation about as well as you can handle it. I mean, he won't take care of Acuna when he's in the game, but as far as putting him in the game, at least he's doing the right thing there. So
this is this is saying that he was held out with general soreness, which is just a way to hold him out. I mean, I think he could have played if they wanted him to, but he doesn't need to play.
Right.
In a little immediate, what do you call it? Immediate karma. Umberto Castellanos strained right elbow, placed on the injured list, and headed to AAA.
Oh, hate when that happens.
So don't hit my player, or you will leave the game.
Well, there you go.
So again, Ian Anderson, Austin Gomber. We don't know how to say his name. Starting tonight, it's going to be a great one. So before we take the break, we got to get this day in Braves history.
First of all, it sucks to be Umberto Castellanos. So on June 2nd, 1935, Babe Ruth of the Boston Braves announces his retirement from baseball. Struggling with a 181 average at the time, he retires with 714 career home runs, by far the most in Major League history. Ruth will gain election to the Hall of Fame as part of its inaugural class next year. So I guess, I don't know when the 5-year waiting period came into effect, but apparently it wasn't in 1936. So.
Well, I figure if you're gonna put anybody in at that time immediately, it'd be
the all-time home run leader.
Yeah, maybe you just wave that, kind of like the Tom Brady that Teresa was talking about. Maybe you just don't
put
make
him in
wait.
now.
Just let him go.
There you go. Yeah, you're kind of delaying the inevitable anyway, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's just make sure that he doesn't eat too many hot dogs and drink too much beer so that he can make us.
When did he die?
You know what? That's a good question. Would he have made it? That is the question. Did he get in?
Hang on.
I want to know now.
No, August 16th, 1948. He'd have been fine.
He'd have made it. All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow alongside Mo Patton. JP Plant on the controls. We coming to you live from Columbia here in the Dimple.
You know, I have never heard anybody else refer to this as the Dimple other than friend of the show, Chip Walters.
I saw it somewhere else the other day.
Really?
Like on a mural or something. So I guess it is a thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's a thing. I've just never heard anybody else refer to it as that.
I wonder if Bernard Childress refers to it as the Dimple or has ever heard it referred to as the Dimple.
I doubt that Bernard refers to it as the Dimple. He might have heard it, but I doubt that he does.
Current TSSAA Executive Director Bernard Childress, at least for the next
28
days, joining us now on Main Street Sports Today. Coach, have you ever heard Columbia referred to as the Dimple of the universe?
Absolutely.
So there you go.
I mean, you're right. I don't refer to it, but Maurice, I was just going to say when I was listening to that, what you don't know will make a new world. You know that.
Oh.
So.
No doubt.
So yes, it is. It is the Dimple of the universe.
That's
personal
awesome.
opinion.
Yeah, Coach. what is the countdown? We said 28 days. What exactly is the countdown?
It's amazing that people have asked me that. I had probably 3 people asked me that on yesterday. A friend of mine even called me and said, "You know what today is, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I do." It's like it's Wednesday. No. It's June the 1st. I was like, "Yeah, I know that too." It's like, what happens in June? And I'm thinking, maybe I'm missing something here. I think everybody's counting down the days with the exception of me. I said from the very beginning that I would never do that. You all said 28 days. I mean, you're right, but I'm not sitting here in my office every day, wherever I'm working from, counting down the days to June 30th. June 30th.
27 days and 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that, Bernard, is you're not counting it.
With that, okay?
Yeah, you're not counting it down because you enjoy your job.
Well, that's true. And I'm leaving in a good place, and you know, I'm just still doing what I normally do every single day, enjoying working with the staff. And like I said from the very beginning, I'm leaving feeling like I left this place in a better place than I found it. And that's what you always want to do. And people here at the staff are saying, "We don't want you to go." I think that's better than them saying, "Man, what is he waiting on?" You know? So I'm still enjoying it. And I'm going to enjoy it all the way through June 30th.
That's great. Bernard Childress, as Chris said, the current executive director of the Tennessee Secondary Schools Athletic Association.
Hashtag and still.
Set to retire on June 30th. And I had the pleasure of speaking to your wife, Pinky, last week, Bernard, over at Spring Fling at the softball state tournament. And she was telling me that your last official act will take place during the NFHS annual convention. I think she said in Phoenix at the end of the month. You will be helping honor longtime Clark Range girls basketball coach Lamar Rogers. Is that correct? Was I right on that?
That's correct. She's correct, and it's in San Antonio.
Okay.
You know, and I debated because the actual he's been which is a extreme honor to be inducted into the National Federation Hall of Fame. Tremendous honor for Coach Rogers and his family. Well deserved. We've been trying to get him in, you know, to the Federation Hall of Fame for about 5 years now. And, you know, Mark and I talked, and we talked to the board, and they said to me, they said, "Bernard, we really wish that you would go. We know how hard you and the staff have worked on this. We think that you deserve the opportunity to hang the medal around his neck, whether it be as the director on the 30th or whether it be as the outgoing director on July the 1st. We want you to do this, and we would appreciate your consideration." So, I mean, how do you turn that down? You know, I said, "Of course I will do it." I'll be honored to do it. I think so. So that would be my last official duty. And I kind of teased with Mark and the staff. I said, now look, I'm retired on June 30th at midnight. When you all see me at the summer meeting on July the 1st, do not ask me any TSSAA questions, okay? Because I won't know the answer. As a matter of fact, my response would probably be, what is TSSAA? Can you explain to me what that is? I will have amnesia. At midnight on June 30th, I will have amnesia, okay?
At 12:01 on July 1st, somebody's going to take one of those wands like Will Smith had in Men in Black, and just
little red dot,
flash it in front of Bernard's face, and he's going to forget everything. Bernard,
and I can tease with them like that because they know that's not my personality. You know, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that we continue to succeed, do things that we need to do for young people. And I told them, I said my email will change, but my telephone number will never change. If you need me for anything, all you got to do is call me.
now, when you said that, were you saying that just to them? Because I've got your phone number too, Bernard.
Yeah, you can keep my phone number because,
Okay.
you know, I do you like I do now. I look up and it says Mo Patton. I was like, I don't think I want to talk to him right now.
Well, take a ticket, take a seat, because there's a long line of folks along those lines. But Bernard, I wanted to ask you. I know you are. I know it. Hey, last week, I mean, you had to be wanting to run the calendar forward a little bit, the way things were going. That one day in particular during spring fling, I would think.
First time in 26 years that we have had that type of weather. I do not remember ever having to call off an entire day. It was very challenging. We got through it. But yes, it's like when you look back and you say, we've been very fortunate during spring fling. We've had some delays, but nothing like we had the last week and the challenges that we had. But I have to say that everyone, fans, especially the coaches and the players, having to come out there, sit in the dugout, hoping to get played, especially softball and baseball, where we just didn't have any tarps. I mean, baseball had tarps, but it was still bad. And the rain looked like it was going to never stop. And then when we delayed the tournament until the next day, they said, hey, we're going to give us a schedule. We're going to do what we need to do. We can't control the weather. They were very accommodating. The fans were very accommodating, and we appreciated that. We as a staff was very frustrated trying to get everything done, but it worked out, and with the help of everybody involved.
You know, that's kind of one of the things that, and I joked with you in the press box of the softball tournament that, you know, clearly they just wanted you to work a couple extra days because it wasn't quite your time. And so it wasn't quite your time. So I'm sure that it was a struggle, but also, you know, it kind of allowed you a little extra time to take that in and some, you know, obviously a little bit of stress to go along with it. Nothing's going to come easy, not even in retirement.
You're exactly right. You did. I think you kind of labeled Saturday as Bernard's Day or something that.
Bernard Childress.
Talking. Yeah. And I said, but again, everything worked out. It did give me an opportunity to spend another day with people who I have been involved with, for my entire career here at TSSAA. And, working on Saturday did not bother me one bit. It does not bother any of our staff. We even ended up having to have a baseball game on Sunday afternoon. You all know. We work 7 days a week now anyway. So we're just glad it worked out and that we didn't have to come into this week. Our big concern was all of these teams and kids, especially coaches, having to find something for kids to do in a hotel, extra days, having the expense of paying for the team to stay there. They didn't seem to mind to do whatever we needed them to do, and we appreciated that so much.
Bernard Childress, Executive Director of the TSSAA, with us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Renee Hart and her fine folks taking care of diners from across Middle Tennessee, headed to Henry Horton, headed from Henry Horton, or just headed to From the Heart. So
yeah, it's worth the trip on its own.
Absolutely. So we appreciate From the Heart for bringing us Coach's Corner here on Main Street Sports today, and for bringing us Bernard Childress. Bernard, as you get ready to step down on June 30th and hand this thing off to Mark Reeves on July 1st, as you look at the high school landscape, what do you feel like will be one of his biggest challenges as he takes this thing over?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I talked to Mark about this. I said, let's deal with, first of all, not national challenges, but let's deal with the challenges that we have here in the state of Tennessee, and because we got to put our kids first. So what I see that's coming up really, really soon is that we're going to have to look at a way to add both boys and girls lacrosse. We have classification, and you know that's always a challenge. We have classification, reclassification next year. And Mark and I sat down and worked on that with Bradley quite a bit yesterday. Another big issue that's going to come down the road for him just here in the state of Tennessee is how are you going to deal with name, image, and likeness. So we already have some states now that have put in policies, and we're beginning to get more and more questions from our schools is what can we do, what can't we do. That's a national issue that's not going away, and it's probably going to be a big issue for him. We also have, and the Tennessee Titans have done such a fantastic job in Williamson County also in with girls flag football. I've gotten calls from all across the state from schools and school people saying, hey, I know they were just piloting the program in Williamson County, but we want to be involved in this. So with all of that going on, we're going to be looking at how do we implement girls flag football, how we implement boys and girls lacrosse, how do we implement possibly indoor track. And what I've said to Mark is we can sanction sports without having a championship. And I think that's where he needs to go with the council and looking at how many teams do we actually need participating. We can sanction the sport. We can have invitationals like we did with girls wrestling until we get enough teams to qualify for a state championship. But what is that percentage? I think that needs to go into bylaws pretty quickly because we have some sports that are, coming down the road, and he's going to, the staff here is going to have to address that with our board and council. So all of these things he is aware of, but that's what I see as the challenges going forward.
Bernard, let me ask you, since the new classification system came in for basketball, baseball, softball, what is the reaction that you've heard? I mean, do you see 4 classes sticking around past this period?
Well, Maurice, it's hard to give something and then take it away. We're going to have a study session next Tuesday and just talk to the board about what we've heard, try to get their feedback on what they've heard. But the positive side of it, in bringing 8 more teams, we had kids to be able to experience something that they never have experienced in their lives, because we had, additional 8 teams to come to our state tournament in basketball, baseball, and softball. The negative that we've heard, and I think we've all heard, that is the district, the more classes you add, districts and regions, the more travel you're going to have during regular season, especially during postseason. So we've heard that quite a bit, is that we're traveling too far for a district game during the regular season, where you wanted 4 classes, and that's what the maps look like. Now, we have a plan that we're going to discuss next week with them that kind of shortens that distance, but it's not something that I can talk to. It's pretty complicated. We're trying to simplify it. We're trying to simplify it and get those numbers closer together. And if we can get the numbers, enrollment numbers closer together for class 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A, then we can get schools traveling, hopefully less during the regular season and during postseason. I just simply said to them, I said, guys, you're complaining about travel, but call your Division II partners or associates in your area and ask them how far they have to travel especially during postseason. So it's no different. But we've got to come up with a way, if we possibly can, and I don't know if the board will ever be interested in what we plan to propose, but we got to come up with a way, not just in Division I, but in Division II, to try to get our kids off the road so much. This is educational athletics, and they're students first. And I just have a problem with kids having to travel from Chattanooga to Memphis, and I'm talking Division II now. But we have some in Division I that are traveling a long way, even across time zones, and then to play a tennis match and try to get back to go to school, whether it's the next day or the day after. We got to concentrate on what can we do as an organization to cut down on that as much as possible.
There you go. Travel is always the big issue. And in a state like Tennessee, that is, parts of it are closer to Canada than it is other parts of the state, it makes it a little difficult. Absolutely. So it's certainly a unique situation that you guys have and have dealt with, I think, admirably over the years. So well done, making it work the best you can. And I know you guys are always, like you always say, you're always doing the best you can for the kids, and let the adults complain all they want, but it's all about the kids. And we know that, and we appreciate everything that you've done, especially keeping them safe this past week at Spring Fling. And I hope you enjoyed that extra Bernard Childress Day.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Chris. And you're right. I came into this position. I came to TSSAA. I started my career 41 years ago in education. And my mentality has always been, and I've told you, and you all have heard me say this many times, I get up every morning and I ask God to give me the strength and courage to do His will for young people. And as long as I trust Him to show me the way, I can't worry about what adults say. I really feel like we've done the best we can for young people. That's our charge. We are supposed to be enhancing the education of young people through sports and doing everything that we can to make sure that whatever experience they have, as far as the TSSAA experience or athletic experience is concerned, that it's a positive experience and something that they can remember for the rest of their lives. I came into this organization, I came into education that way, and I will leave that way. And I've told Mark the same thing. And I said, you don't have to pray the prayer that I pray every morning, but you need to make sure that you're trusting God to show you the way to help young people. That's your charge.
Nobody's done it better than Bernard Childress, the outgoing TSSAA executive director, is in that position for another 28 days.
27 days
and an hour and a half. Yeah, exactly. Bernard, thank you so much for joining. Go ahead.
I'm going to let you all count down the days. Maybe y'all can call me. You know, give me a call.
Let him know.
I got my number. Give me a call and let me know how much time I have left, okay?
You know, it would be my honor to do so. Bernard Childress joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. He may be dropping through there now because he's got some extra time on his hands starting July 1. Bernard, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you all so much. And I cannot leave without telling you again how much we as a staff appreciate the job that you all have done, and the media all across Tennessee, to promote our young people. I go to national meetings all the time, and I can tell you it's not like that in many other states, even some of our surrounding states. We've had an outstanding relationship with the media, and I know that will continue.
It's certainly our intent. It's certainly our intent to continue it, and so we're going to put it on Mark to see whether it does or not. Now, I'm sure it'll be fine, but thank you again, Bernard, and I hope to see you in retirement, and you and your lovely wife, and that grandson, who I'm told runs the Childress household.
Well, yeah, he thinks he does. I mean, yeah, he gives a lot of orders, and then we got the granddaughter. If she comes up like him, boy, we're gonna have our work cut out for us, because you know everything is, we need to do this, we need to do it. I said, boy, you're 4 years old. Let me tell you what we need to do.
Good luck with that, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Good talking to you always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's hand out some hardware real quick before we take our final break of the day. And here we go. The In to Win Life Team of the Week, presented by Custom Stone Handlers, Ned Rich. Fantastic, folks. Look at there. We got a little graphic, Mo.
Yeah,
we got co-winners.
There we go. Yeah, it was
just kind of hard to give one and not give the other.
Well, it's tough to give one award when you've got two state champions.
Yeah. Both of which didn't lose.
Yeah.
At any point.
Yeah. So to the Columbia Academy Lady Bulldog softball team and to the Summertown Lady Eagles tennis team.
That's it.
The latter of which was back-to-back?
Well, no.
No.
The team was not. The doubles team was.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, thanks for clearing that up for me. Yeah, congratulations to CA softball and to Summertown girls tennis.
That's right. And our MTBJ Player of the Week, Mo, goes to none other than Malia Hardy, because what else she going to do?
All she did was set a state tournament home run record with 6. Batted 700
in 3 games.
In 3 games.
Well, 2.5 almost.
and I don't know what her slugging percentage was, but she had 6 home runs and a double in 10 at bats.
Yeah, it's probably about 2.1 if I had to guess. It's give or take 2.1.
It's up there. It's
north of 2. And that's all you need to know. It's north of 2.
Scored 8 runs, drove in 12.
That's unreal.
In 3 games.
Yeah. Congratulations, Malia, for your Player of the Week honor. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we had a couple of coaching changes here in Southern Middle Tennessee. We had a baseball coach hired and a football coach hired this week. So we'll talk about those as well. Stick around. Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the day, and very short segment. Got some coaching news to get off and running. We'll start in football because this has nothing to do with Middle Tennessee, but it is on MainStreetPreps.com where you can find coaching news from across the state at MainStreetPreps.com. Donovan Stewart does a fantastic job getting the information and getting it out there about as quick as anybody does. So if you're looking for the new coaches or the outgoing coaches, you can always find it on MainStreetPreps.com. Michael LaFrance, coming from Mississippi, will take over the MLK Prep program, and I don't even know that MLK Prep has ever had a football team. No, they didn't play in 2020 and finished the 2021 season 0-8. So they got uniforms. That's all I know.
A little closer to home.
Baseball.
Well,
yes.
You want to go to baseball?
I was just going to mention a quick baseball. We had, or we tried to have Bill Moore on earlier this week, the now former Brentwood baseball coach. His successor has been named, and that's former assistant Daniel Peck. Not to be confused with country music singer Danielle Peck. This is just Daniel. So Daniel Peck will take over the Brentwood baseball program.
Also in baseball, Lawrence County is looking for a coach, I assume, after the recent retirement of Brad White. JP, you got any more light to shed on that?
I have heard nothing new on that that potential hire as of yet.
Well, okay. Our man in the Berg will help keep us informed on the developments along those lines with LCHS Wildcat baseball. So,
yeah, the Lawco Wildcats Twitter hasn't posted since May 20th, and it's locked. So it's a private account because that's just how that's how they communicate with their players. So yeah,
okay.
No information on Twitter either that we have.
Okay, again, a little closer to home.
A lot closer to home than a couple of those.
Zion Christian is looking for a football coach, as Charlie Lansdale, who was hired in March, announced his resignation today.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, he was there for what, 3 months? So yeah, it's quite a surprise, but
so they are trying to, their administration is trying to figure out what's next as far as that goes. There's an article on the website at mainstreetmurray.com if you'd like to read more about the situation. There is also an article on mainstreetmurray.com regarding Mount Pleasant High School, which is now without both boys and girls basketball coaches, as boys coach Matt Horton, after one season, resigned and had some intriguing comments as he left. And if you want to know more, again, it's on the website, mainstreetmurray.com.
You should definitely read it.
I'm not into telling people what to read, but
I mean,
if you want to know more, it certainly has generated some interesting responses in my email box.
There's that. But yeah, you should. I mean, look, if you're watching this show, you're
interested.
very likely interested in high school sports in Southern Middle Tennessee and beyond. And of course, the best way to get that coverage is through Main Street, of course, mainstreetmurray.com, mainstreetpreps.com for the mid-state. You can't beat it. $25 a year will get you a subscription to mainstreetpreps.com. It will also get you a subscription to Main Street Murray, print and online editions. So there you go. Yeah, man, what a crazy show. Congratulations, Karen Booker. We started the show with a coaching change. We're ending it with coaching changes. That's how we do it. So yeah, we come in with Karen Booker being named the coach at Trevecca. Again, if you missed any part of the show, go check out the podcast, the first half, the second half. Bernard Childress's interview is just phenomenal, and it's got nothing to do with us. Yeah, he is just sensational. I'm certainly going to miss him. I know Mark's podcast for wrestling was good, so I got a feeling that he's going to be great in the future as well. But Bernard Childress, always fantastic. You can catch his special guest podcast as well. If you missed any part of it, you can do it there on demand. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or mainstreetsportstoday.com. That's where you can get all of it. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We will come back tomorrow. It is Friday, short week, only the 4th day of the week. So we will get out of here today. We'll be back tomorrow at 2:00. So we'll see you then.